Hey guys, Johnny Shades here. It's the end of the month, so it's time for pickup video. This is the shortest month of the year, so you'd think I wouldn't have a lot to show off, but this month was extremely good as far as games and also as collectibles. I'm going to start off with some of the bigger stuff first. First off, wow, this was a good deal. A little scuffed up, but I think I can repair it. It is an Iron Man helmet from when the first movie came out, when they actually started making helmets. As you can see, they're actually pretty good price, $8. The funny thing is that I saw this not too long ago, but the back part was missing. It just had the front part, so I initially passed on it. But a couple days later, Melanie wanted to get out of the house for a little bit because she's still recovering from her car accident. And we decided to go, and I saw the full thing. So I picked it up. I actually like this thing here too. This little part slides down to actually, hide the head a little bit more. It barely fits me. It's made for kids. Like, I'll try putting it on right now. My fat ears will. You can see. It actually does work too. So you can turn it on. It lights up, makes the noises.
Iron Man, inbound missile attack.
You don't sound like Jarvis. Okay, I'll just shut it off there. Oh, it's ow, my eyes. So yeah, I just messed up my hair. Okay, so yeah, this is probably the part that bugs me the most. Is like these little foam pieces in here, but they're wingtip. No, there's the Phillips heads. I can take those out easily. So yeah, even folds up and down. It's got the lock in there too, so you can just be like, yeah. So it's a good display piece, regardless. Like, this will look good in the cave. Next up, I found an old school wrestling belt. You don't see these too often because you see the John Cena spinner belts, but I found myself the old school WWF Intercontinental title. 2000 by Jakks Pacific. Which, thanks to the gaming historian, I found out that it's a subsidy of LJN when they made toys. Which later became, I think they sold it off to something else, but I got this just for history's sake. To be honest, I don't like this oval Intercontinental title that they had through the Attitude Era up until, I think 2010 is when Cody Rhodes came out with the white one, which he paid out of pocket. Like, he spent his own money on it. So, yeah. Thank you, Cody, for that. Okay, next up, magazines. I got some pretty cool ones here. I got a new Nintendo Power. It's an N64 era one, so you got Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. Trying to see if there's anything in here that really popped my eye. Oh, there's the poster still in here, and the poster is for Harrier 2001, which I think never came out by Video Systems and Peridium. Yeah, I don't think it ever came out. There's a guide to E3 in here where they talk about the upcoming games. Yeah, like, did you know Eternal Darkness was meant to be on the Nintendo 64, not the GameCube? You get StarCraft, WCW Mayhem. It's a real... Oh, I guess Mortal Kombat Special Forces was supposed to come out for the 64. Never did. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff in here. These two, Melanie loves this one for obvious reasons. I got a Game Pro magazine with KI Gold on the front. And of course she's obsessed with that one right there. Because these are like, I think this is in like the beginning stages. So like there's some pre-alpha or beta photos of Tomb Raider in here. I can't remember what it is. Or is it just a full-on review? We'll check the PlayStation section. No, they got Dark Forces. Oh, no. There's the first reviews for Tomb Raider on here. So what did they think? Okay. That's a bold-faced lie. Control 5. This is on a scale of 5. Sorry, honey, if you're reading this, but the early Tomb Raiders had horrible controls. Sound 3.5, graphics 4.5, and fun factor 4.5. So pretty even around the scores. This one's a pretty meaty one. I got Final Fantasy VII on the front. If you only knew. Mega Man X4, Duke Nukem 64, Saturn Bomberman, Mortal Kombat Mythology, Sub-Zeros, and they have strategies in here for Castlevania Symphony of the Night and Mace the Dark Age on Nintendo 64, which I think was a fighting game. I can't remember. God. And here's the one thing I miss with printed media as opposed to um, video trailers and reviews. Like, check out this ad for Resident Evil Director's Cut. It's just an eye in a glass jar. You don't. This is the kind of stuff you don't get on the online market anymore. Let's see here. Yeah. So there's a pretty cool castle map here for Symphony of the Night. If you're needing help and you don't have the internet, get this issue. So yeah, those are cool. These are definitely bathroom reading material. So I just keep a few issues of a gaming magazine. Let's see here. Okay, toy front, and I've got so much to add to my turtle collection now. Thank God I finally have one, a real one. I got Rocksteady. I found one that looked a little bit more like he did in the animated series, but he had more animated eyes, and he had a tune-up, you twist him and he probably did a motion or something. But yeah, I got myself my Rocksteady. All I need now is Krang's brain and Shredder, and I've got the main villains of Turtles. Speaking of main villains, I got myself Leatherhead with his clapping jaw. It's like, I'll guarantee. You stop saying that. I suppose it's best I run. Man, I wish I wasn't so fat. Alright, now I'm doing Simpsons quotes. So yeah, I got a Rocksteady, I got a Leatherhead. God help me, I can't remember his name. Please post them in the comments. I'm too lazy to check Wikipedia right now, and I know you will, just like you did for this guy, which I can't remember his name now either, but they left him in the comments, so. And last but not least, don't know who this guy is, but he was in Turtles 3. Excuse me. Don't get over cold, but yeah, he was in Turtles 3 on NES, the Manhattan Project, as a boss. I always liked him. He's one of those ones that he wasn't on the show. Maybe he was for one episode, but he was one of those mutants that they put on the toy line that I actually liked and didn't mind having in my collection. Now I have him again, and I can feel the dust on him, so these guys gotta get dusted off. That is it for toys. Now it's time for updating the game collection. These I picked off a guy on Kijiji for $5 a pop. Some of them with Game Trader stickers on them. Doubt these stores exist anymore. It's one in Agincourt, Ontario. Well, this one was anyway. Akari Warriors, which top-down shooter, based on the arcade game. Unfortunately, doesn't have that cool rotation where you twist the joystick to move your character around, but really, 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 really hard. You've seen the Nerds video. You understand. A 5-screw game. I haven't had one of these in a while. Konami Russian Attack, which I heard that Russian Attack on they remade this for XBLA and PSN, I think Steam, and I heard it wasn't all that great, but it's a simple arcade game. It's fine. By the way, I got these all for $5 a pop. I've always been a fan of this one. I hate the controls in these types of games, but at the same time, I like them. It's Caveman Games from Data East. It's basically Caveman Olympics. So, there's ones that, you take your cave girl, whip her by her hair, just basically like a discus toss. So I think it's pretty hilarious. But where the hell are SJWs on this game? This one doesn't portray women in a good light. But whatever. And last but not least, it's not all that great of a game, but it was during the trend of Capcom and Disney games. Mickey Mouse. First of all, oh god, that Game Grumps episode. Anytime I'm feeling blue, I always put that on because just his imitation of that game dude idiot. It's just like, what is this bullshit? 2 cats? Why not 3? Jeez, what were they thinking? So yeah, that's it for NES. Moving on to Genesis. God, speaking of saying the word Genesis, like playing the word of generous. Buddy gave me all these games for $12. That turned out to like $3 a game, and these are like really good titles. He even messaged me too. He's like, you're getting a really good deal on this. I said, I know, man. I really appreciate it. He didn't list off like total price on everything, but got me Strider on Genesis, the original arcade Strider, which I already own part of the Capcom Classic Collection on PS2, but still got the Genesis cart. Is pretty awesome. This one, I've been waiting for this for the longest time. Finally got a copy of Sonic and Knuckles. Unfortunately, the hinge is missing on it, but tested it. The game itself works. The lock-on feature works, so I can play as Knuckles on 2 and 3. Awesome, awesome. Surprised I didn't have this one already, but I got it. And in what's happening right now with this adult-oriented fan film that came out, and some people's backlash, some people praising it, Jason David Frank being all, I don't know. Might go from Power Rangers on Genesis, which everyone knows it's a just straight up fighting game. The only one to have the Green Ranger in it. Super Nintendo didn't, Game Boy didn't. Hell, I think the Jew Ranger Famicom game didn't have it. I think it did though, but there was like a mini game where you played as the Megazord against the Dragon Zord. And finally, this is in such pristine condition. It's like nobody ever touched this. Sonic Spinball complete in box. Like, it's got the manual, it's got the game, like pristine. Like nobody touched this. Plus, it comes with this cool poster with like the advertisers like, oh, get the Genesis Model 2. Get the 6-button controller. Get the TV tuner that will not work anymore because analog TV is pretty much the way of the dinosaur right now. I know there's a few stations that still broadcast around here, but everyone else is just and I know cable companies are slowly taking them away too because they're like, if you're calling about this channel, we're putting it on digital. You need a digital adapter now. So, $12 for these games, awesome deal. Oh, Hulk Hogan fell over. Next up, quick Xbox game. Paid $2 for it. It's backwards compatible. Guilty Gear X 2. Reloaded. Hashtag reloaded. For hashtag was that. I'm slowly becoming a fan of these Arc System fighting games because they're so inventive. They're so colorful, so well animated. It's hard to play these games though because they're really precise on these movements. So this, if you saw me tweet this a while ago, you know that I can now play Bionic Commando on the Pooper. I have Capcom Classics Mini Mix. So what's Mini Mix? If you haven't heard of it before, basically when all of the Capcom Classic collections were coming out on PS2, Xbox, and then the reloaded ones on PSP, they came out with Mini Mix on the GBA. This has the NES ports of Strider, Bionic Commando, and Mighty Final Fight, which actually, I paid $6 for this. This is good value because Mighty Final Fight was one of those last few games to be released on the NES by Capcom, so it fetches quite a bit of money on eBay. It's in the hundreds if you wanted to get like a cart, in the several hundreds if you wanted it complete in box. But yeah, the thing is with this is that it does that thing like they did with the NES Classic GBA games, like Mario Brothers and Castlevania and Zelda and all that, where they kind of squish a few pixels here and there. So there are some points there where you're as Rad Spencer and you're walking, and the animation, he's kind of got this little bouncy animation when he walks, but in this it's just kind of like he glides over. Little jarring, but it's a full NES game. Mighty Final Fight actually plays really well on this, and Strider as well. Although I never got too into the NES Strider, I always preferred the arcade game and the Genesis version. So there's that. Okay, this actually was a good deal. Now here's the thing. A lot of you may have saw my video on Value Village, and them with the audacity to sell an incomplete Nintendo 64 for $80 with wrong controllers, and then they would like change the package and then lower the price a little bit. I think that video didn't get a whole lot of play, but I think my tweets to the company and the retweets and other people's frustrations with thrift stores at this time, I think they've gotten through to them. Not a whole lot, because I will tell you this: they have a rough shaped in-box version of Mario Brothers for the Atari 2600, and they want $80 for it. It's in behind a glass case, so they haven't completely come down on stuff like that. But what's happened is that they are actually starting to put stuff back on the bags and charge less for them. And no more was that when I spotted this with my little eye. I got Game Boy Color for $10. Not only was there a game, well, not only was the Game Boy Color in it, but there was a game in it too. So I popped it out. I saw it was yellow. I knew it was a Donkey Kong Land game, but I didn't know it's the first one. So I got Donkey Kong Land on Game Boy. So in total, this cost me $10. This was, I tested it out. Unfortunately, the speaker is a little bit blown out on it. If you crank the volume all the way up, you can't hear it. However, headphone jack works perfectly. You can plug your headphones in, you can listen to it. But then again, I have a GBA SP that's backlit, so I don't really need this. Actually, after showing this to you, I am probably going to put this up for trade or sale because I don't need it. I mean, it's nice. It's cool to have, and it's nice to see it. But I don't have a light for it, and I don't have one of those little lights you can put the extender here and it flops over to play it. I mean, maybe. I mean, it's nice to have interchangeable battery parts, so I don't have to worry about, excuse me, the ion battery draining on it. So, there's that. Plus, I like to see if anyone wants to trade it for me for stuff I don't already own. Lastly, now here's something cool. I don't know the guy's name, but when he saw me go over and grab the Game Boy Advance, he had a black Game Boy Advance SP in his hand. I was just like, damn it, I had gotten here sooner, probably would have gotten that. But he actually had another one in his hand. He looked at me and he's like, I already got one of these. Do you want it? I said, sure. So he handed me this red Game Boy Advance SP. Kind of works. I can understand that. This was $10 as well. And actually, there was a game inside of it as well. I was like, hey, that's cool. Wonder what it could be. It could be something like, like Mario. And I saw the blue and I was like, hey, maybe it's Metroid. Nope. It is Cat in the Hat. Cat in the Hat. Like, oh god. I don't know if this is Cat in the Hat in the movie, The Game, The Disappointment, but I didn't have enough chance to play it around with it. Didn't come with a charger. Now, I don't know if there's something shorted out inside, if it's the port, or what, because what happened was, as soon as I plugged it in, the light came on for half a second and then turned off. I managed to wiggle this a little bit, and then it started to take a charge. Then I started playing, then I found that there was an electrical short, and it reset the whole thing. Then I got the Game Boy screen again. I don't know if I can replicate it. Hey, here it plays. So, I don't know if I can really replicate it. Are you a boy or a girl? What happened was that, I don't know, I was smacking something around here, and it caused it to reset. I need to get my hands out of frame. So I was hitting it, it caused it to reset, and then it hasn't done it since, so it maybe works, maybe it doesn't. Now, where's the Game Boy Color I'm going to trade? This one I'm saving because I want a bunch of GBA SPs, because for the channel, I want to do legit Zelda Four Sword Adventures LPs. And I also want to do Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, because those were the games that you could use the Game Boy Advance link cable for. And I think with Metroid Prime, if you have like Zero Mission and Fusion, you could do link stuff with that. I think you can play the NES one on Prime, or vice versa. It's like an unlock you can carry around with you. I can't remember the full details, but yeah, this is staying with us because we want to play. We want to play that. I got some friends that've got some GBA Advanced SPs as well. My only gripe with this though is that it looked like I don't know how well that will show up on screen. I can get the glare on it. You can see a little CM Punk there. I don't think it's going to show up on screen, but there's like a slash in it. It's not going to show up. There's a little slash in it, but if you like move your eye onto it, it's really, really, really noticeable. But you know what? I can move it to angles where I can't notice it. So actually, I should take all these out. And if any of you are wondering why I have my stuff in this President's Choice 24 Club pack of microwave popcorn. Number one, I love popcorn. And number two is that during the months that I collect stuff, I put everything in this box for this video so I don't lose track as to what I picked up this month. Because that's happened in the past, and I usually just had them stacked on my computer desk. But after a while, you kind of lose track of what you've collected. Like right now, I've got some, because I was playing some Game Boy games the other night on my Game Boy player. I got like my Turtles, Fall of the Foot Clan, my Mario 2, my Final Fantasy Legend 3, Mario Deluxe, and something we're doing in the future. Oh, mystery. Not really a mystery. If you follow me on Twitter, you know we're doing this playthrough. But I keep them there. I used to keep them there, and it's just created this big headache. So what I do now is that anytime we go out to, or if I go meet someone to trade stuff or buy stuff off of, as soon as I do is I come home, I pop it in the NES or Genesis or whatever, play it, test it out, clean it, and then I pop it in the box there. I wait until I do this video, and I go, hey, look what I got, look what I got. I set it off there, and as soon as I'm done and I'm uploading, then I categorize everything if I haven't already, because usually what I'll do now is that once I get a game, I'll go on my vgcollect.com site page, and I'll add it to the list, and then I will put it up on the shelf. And it's something that you need the companion app for, because I made a boo-boo. I actually have 2 copies of Mortal Kombat 2 on Genesis in box, so that's probably going to be going up for trade soon. So if you're local in the area and you're watching this, keep a lookout for. I hate using Kijiji for ads, but I will use Kijiji, and I'll be posting up on all the groups that I frequent. So those are pickups for February 2015. I almost said 14. You know, you're 2 months into the year, and you gotta get used to it. So we'll see you at the end of March, where we'll kind of see what happens here. Unfortunately, this month has been really rough as far as finances go, and that's just not helping. I've been missing quite a bit of work due to severe snowstorms. I think in total this month we've gotten about 200 centimeters of snow. And from what I'm reading, we could be finally done. Spring could finally be coming. So that means I'll be going out more. I'll be, hopefully collecting more and actually working more. So I will not be going bankrupt. But we don't need to talk about that. Let's hear it there. Alright. See you guys in March for another collection pickup video.